gentlemen, the show is about to start in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I'm going to disable and enable my audio. Oh, there it is. Is it working now? Jerry? Just confirm. I think I got it working. It's looking, for some reason it disconnected. Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you, Jerry. Okay, so I'm going to be doing today's thing sitting down. Let me start again. Rewind. Okay, begin again. So, welcome into another build session with the HE3d K280 Delta printer kit. We got a lot built over the last couple of weeks. This should be the final build session. We've got to do some of the wiring, which is not much. We have to tidy up some cabling, make sure everything's tidy and out of the way. Set on the heat bed, and should be ready. So last week we did a lot of work. Last week we did install the main board, install the screen, wired the stepper motors, X, Y, and Z stepper motors to the board, installed our end stops on all of our 3 axes. We got a lot done last week. We got the belts installed for the function for we have motion now on our axes. So today we're going to try and get the rest of the wiring done and get it all up and running. So without any further ado, first of all, I want to give a shout out to Jerry. Jerry's always in my streams. He's always hanging out. Jerry has a great channel of his own, but he's always here. He helps out in chat. He's one of my mods. Thank you, Jerry. Fantastic. So if you haven't already, go find 3DHP over on YouTube and on Twitch. Follow those channels also because Jerry does a lot of good content, and we should give Jerry show Jerry some love. Right. So let's get the wiring done first. There's a few things I want to point out. What comes with the printer is, let me go over to the close-up camera. I can show you better. You don't need to see me. Is a 2-pin plug, and it's got 2 furls on the end, which is good, but the problem is it's 2-pin. Never plug in something electric that's 2-pin because you have no grounding, you have no protection. So I will plug it in temporarily today. I'll wire it up with a 2-pin, but we're not going to run with a 2-pin. I'm not going to do a print with it because I do not know. I don't like the idea of running it with a 2-pin wire. I will get a 3-pin and wire it up. The power supply does have a ground, so I will go with the ground on the power supply. So I will change it to a 3-pin cable with a proper ground before I actually do any prints. But I will power up today. We'll make sure the axis is moving, make sure everything heats up, make sure we don't release any blue smoke, make sure everything's going okay. So I'm going to, with the close-up camera where it is, actually I'm going to move it. One thing I want to show you, I routed the wires for the end stops around the outside because I don't like to have them near the belt. I brought them around around the outside, and then we will wire them up on the inside onto the board. But I will bring this over. I'm going to mount this up here. That gives you a better view. And that way then you can see the board as we do everything wired up on the inside here. Now we have some other wires to bring in, but let's do what we have. The printer does come with a fairly decent wiring diagram. So we're going to follow this wiring diagram to set everything else up. We'll just run the cables we already have. Then we'll bring in the cables from the hot end and the part cooling fan and the heat break cooling fan and bring it down and bring it in and plug them into the board as well. Okay. So we will start with our X. So on a Delta printer, you can see me on the small screen there. When you're at the front of the printer, you have the screen facing you. X is on this side is Y, and the back is Z. Always. That is always the scenario. X, Y, Z. So let's get the X end stop. And let's see where it goes. X limit switch goes to... It's not very... The lines on this are very dull. Okay, it goes to this connector over here. Over here on the board, the red connector. X end stop. Get that cable out of the way. This is my Y end stop, which goes to the blue one. We'll tidy those cables up later on. Then we have the Z end stop, which comes from the far side. And I want to confirm it goes into the green. Yep, it goes in over here to the green connector. So these are our stepper motors that we plugged in last week. We will do tidy up and zip tie these up out of the way. We have our motors plugged in. We have the end stops plugged in. The next thing we need to do is this cabling. So I'm going to switch over to the large screen again. So this cabling coming out of the hot end has our thermistor, our heater cartridge, our part cooling fan, and our part cooling fan and the heat break cooling fan. And we need to wrap them up. So we do get a wrapping that comes with that. And this is going to be, I'm going to stand up to do this. I'm going to wrap it about halfway. So I'm going to bring the cables up over here. Tidy together. I actually do not like these wrapping. They're easy enough to put on, but I just don't like them. But they work. Bring these cables over here to me, it'll be easy. You should just wrap it around, and then it wraps itself around as you twist it. Hold one end. Make sure you get all the wires in there when you do it. So how's everyone's Sunday morning going? We have more rain today, which is good because we had a little bit of rain yesterday, not much. But we have more rain coming, heavier rain hopefully coming today. Which is good for our lawns and our plants and the vegetable garden. I have tomatoes out there growing, and I have peppers and a few other things going out there. Get this wrapped up. And I've roughly measured it's about halfway down I need to go. So I need to bring it over here and stop it about mounted about here. I need to have the flexibility for it, the heads to move up and down. And we'll verify that in a while. But not sure yet, but you're alive. Well, the fact that you wake up planting daisies and pushing them up, that's always a good start to the day, right? Most of the way down, sit down and get this done. Yeah, I normally like to do my stuff standing up, doing these standing up, but not possible at the moment because this thing is so tall. I can't do it on my other printer header. Hey, Sergio, man, how are you? Sergio's a very busy man. Yes, share it out on your social media. We need we have 1,000. We have monetized the channel, but it's not only that. It's about sharing the ideas of what we find, or the projects we work on, and the printers we work on, and so on. Let's see how we're doing with that. How far is that going to be? That's probably enough. Let me see. No, I need more. I'm down to here. I need to do a little bit more of wrapping. Then I'm going to put it into the channel in the back here, out of the way. Maybe I'm going to use all of this, is what I'm probably going to end up doing. When are we going to get wireless hot ends and wireless heaters? We don't have to deal with cables. They heat via impedance remotely. That'd be fantastic. Okay, all wrapped up. Now we just need them to set all of this correctly. There's some of these cables I'm going to pull them through because they're a bit bulked over here, and I don't want that, so I'm going to pull them through a little bit. Probably this one. No, it's this one. Just pulling it through to make sure if they get it out of the way. We'll probably be mounting that here, and then the rest of these cables then will run down the outside. And we'll channel those up in a while. And I'm going to bring them down the outside, but in through, underneath, through the frame. I'm going to do it on my side because it's easier to have all the cables coming in one spot. So I'm going to do that now. 1, 2. Bring them in where the board is. This is our hot end cables, and they are properly terminated. It looks like. Yes, they are done with proper connections, which I like. Not enough companies are doing that. Some companies are cheaping out. I think this is a thermistor. I'll have to track some of these down in a moment once I get them done. All right, cables are in place. First thing we're going to do is, one's out of the way. We're going to wire up our hot end. And according to this, the hot end goes in these two. So this is the power in from the power supply. This is the which I have a cable for, and this is for our hot end. So we're going to use a small screwdriver, which they didn't supply, by the way. Out of my way. Loosen these screws. Our cables over here for our hot end. These are hot end ones are not polar. Yeah, they're not polar. So here, so you can see where I'm putting them in. There we go. There, nice and tight. Coming over. Move a little bit more. Those are hot end wired in. Get that tight. We'll tidy those cables up in a while. I'll just feed them out the side here, out of the way for now. These will all be coiled up later. There is a cable for a power supply. Now, this is polar. You make sure you have to put them in the right way around. It's not far off it. Actually, on my other table, it actually was touching the ceiling, so I couldn't build it over there, which is a normal table I use. One that I normally do my stuff on. And I had to, like with these, this table can go about this much higher, maybe a foot or more higher, and or maybe 6 inches higher. And then at that point, this is about 1 or 2 centimeters away from the ceiling, very, very close. So I shrunk it down so I could operate in here and get this done. Yeah, so it's really tall. It's 280 by 280 because it's a round bed, so it's a 280 build surface by 600 tall. So this is our power supply. Now I'm going to run the power supply out the other side. I'm not running it out the same side as everything else. I'm going to bring it underneath the frame. And this is polar. So we have the positive on this side. It's marked on the main board. Let me show you. Look at the board. Can you see it there? Here. So we have positive on this side and negative here. It's marked on the board down here. Positive and negative. And it's 12-24 volt board. So, but I think it's a 12 volt. Actually, I haven't checked, but I think it's a 12 or 24 power supply. I'm not sure which one. So since these are polar, positive being the red, the hot line. Loosen this out. Get it in over here. You see where I'm going? Tight. The negative. And these it's nice that they actually have furrows. You have no pick and pick. Oh, I'm sorry. What happened there? Forgive me. Thank you, Jerry. Yeah, so we have positive here on this side, and negative on the outside. And so the hot end is not polar. This is. Oh, say, actually, I put that in the wrong spot. I need to change that. I'll change it in a moment. I put that in the wrong spot. I put it in where the hotbed goes, not where the hot end goes. Let me fix that quickly once I get this attached. That would cause blue smoke. Not what we want. So let me take this out. This is for a hot bed. We'll be putting on in a while. My mistake. And the hot end goes in the wrong two. It should be these two. Which would make sense because it's 24 volt feet. I just wasn't paying attention. Is that working now, Jerry? I hit the wrong button in my selection. Okay, thank you, Jerry. Jerry's fantastic. He helps out in the streams all the time. He slaps me when I make silly mistakes like that. But he does it in a nice way. Right, so we have that done. What else do we need to do? So we have these. So let's figure out which of these. So we have our hot end. We have our thermistor wires, which are the black wires. It's just these black wires right here. Let me get these sorted out a little bit. So the thermistor wire is this one, it's got an extension on it, apparently. And the thermistor goes to let's see, grind all the way down to outside here. So the thermistor was on the board, the last connection right here, right there. So we have the screen ports right here. Let me show you. The screen ports. And the thermistor goes into this black cable right here at the end. Like so. I'll put the camera back while I figure out the next wires. So we have the thermistor plugged in. It's got a lot of cable, but we'll tidy those up later. This one, let's see which one this one is. This is the part cooling fan. And the part cooling fan, does it have a diagram for that? It doesn't. Auxiliary. So I'm going to leave this out for a minute because it doesn't say which one this is for. I'm going to leave this one. The diagram doesn't have the part cooling fan, or it does actually, sorry. Oh, it does. Sorry, my mistake. It does have, and it goes in over here, right in the front of the board. Okay, power cooling fans in. This other black and white one is the hot end cooling fan. Let's see, hot end cooling fan. It goes in up here in the front of the board, right here, right beside the stepper. That in there, all out of the way. We'll tidy up later once we know everything's working. Let's see. Well, we need to assemble a bed. So let me move my microphone a little bit. Yeah, it was the white plug. Fans generally go to white plugs anyway, or fans and thermistors. So this board has got a lot of spare connections on it, probably for additional fans. But okay, so we have that done. That's wired up. That's wired up. I have no loose unconnected cables here. All connected to something. Yep. Okay. We'll sort out that rat's nest in a while. I've got zip ties. I'll coil them up and get them out of the way. So we need to set up the bed next. So we have the cable going up to the power supply here. On this side. And the bed has got two. It's got a thermistor and a heater. But before we do that, we need to set up the bed on its got little mounting brackets. So let's get that done. There's a bag there with springs and so on for mounting it. The bed gets mounted. Some really long bolts on this. And there should be D3, I believe. Well, I'll need these. the bag here with springs, and it doesn't explain what these are for, so I don't think we need them. But the thermistor we'll figure out in a while. We need to first put on the mounting. So there's 3 little legs here, 3 little plastic legs. We need to be using acrylics. So I'm just going to peel off the cover of those. And get this ready. Should have pre-peeled these, but I forgot to do it. And we can get this done. Oh, I hope the noises or printers in the background is not too bothersome, by the way. I only have 3 running right now, but it shouldn't be too bad of a noise, I hope. So how was your weekend? I know a lot of you were hanging out with Jerry, like I was yesterday on his hangout. And a lot of you were, some of you were on my hangout on Tuesday, and some of you are regulars on my Tuesday hangouts. Next weekend I will not be online. I have a big astronomy event all next weekend, so I will not be streaming next weekend. So, let's see. These don't look like the right type of bolts. To me, anyway. I'm going to use these ones instead. These fit. So these are M4s. These are M3s. I suppose it'll do. So, I don't like these bolts, and I don't think I have any M4s that are in there. I'd like to have countersunk, but I don't seem to have countersunk here. I'll use what they gave me, but I will at some point change them, because they're not countersunk, and I prefer them to be countersunk. So the bed will fit on here, and there are 3 mounting points. We need to set up 3 mounting points, and they go through the plastic frame. So I'll show you. These long bolts actually go through here. These long ones actually go down through here, and then we'll have to put a bolt on the inside in here by hand, which will take a little bit of maneuvering to get it in there. And that's to hold the bed on. But the mounting of these onto this are using, they're not even the right bolts. Let me see. I need M3s, not M4s. There's M3s here. I can in the bag D3. I'm going to use these because the M4s will not fit. And I've only got 2 of them that are long. Apparently, not 3. I have them in here. I can see one over here. I'm not going to Earth. No, I can't make it to Earth. I'm sorry, Sergio. I'd love to, but no, I can't make it. Sorry, mate. Yeah, I'd love to go there and hang out with you, meet up with you and hang out there, but not going to happen this time. Murph is easier for me because it's close by, and getting time off and so on, and like, I'd need to take a week off to go there because it's a good long full day's drive. It's about a 9-hour drive for me, and then to get back, that's a day out and a day back, and I'd have to stay over, and yeah, so it becomes a whole week's trip. Yeah, I need washers. Do I have any washers? No. Okay, I want to check one thing about the heating element on this. Good. I was making sure the heating element does not come out. I'll show you here. I was going to make sure the heating element does not come out to this edge where I'm going to be clamping it on. Yeah, yeah, because you're in the New York area, right? It's a big difference for you to get there than it is for me to get there. Legs. Actually, no, these are wrong. I need to put springs on them, so I can't use. But these are right. Sorry. I put these on. There's no good diagram for this that I've noticed. Let me check, but I don't believe there was. Actually, yeah. You know what? I'll change it around. I'm going to put the springs on these. I'm just taking the bolt off that I temporarily put on. This is the holder. But yeah, I'd love to do it, but yeah, I have so much going on right now at work and stuff. Like, I'm at a huge astronomy event next week. So I'm going to switch these up a little bit. Kind of spring this on, compress it. I'll show you in a moment again. I can't do it on the camera because it's too hard to get them lined up. Okay, get a bit of tension on this and I can show you. So what I'm doing is, there is some black countersunk ones I'm putting on here, and underneath then I have a spring, then I have a flat one of these flat washers, and that will be our height adjustment. Now, adjusting height is going to be awkward because of that. Actually, no, I have that wrong. Let me reverse that, actually. I have it in the wrong section. 1 second. I just realized it. I said there's no good diagram for that, but I'll show you what I've done, or what I'm doing. I didn't think it out. So, remember, I came across this before, where you have the hex shape hole. You put a bolt in upside down, like so, and that creates the tension to move to do this. So I need a small wrench to get this to work for me. Next size. No, too big. I'll eventually get there. It must be the small one. No, I get it. 9 hours was a long. Yeah, 9 hours is a long. It's not well. I don't mind like drive so much. Just all the other stuff involved on the expense of setting up and getting accommodation at this late hour and stuff. You know. So let me show you what I've done. I put the bolt in here, the flathead, and on the back end you have the spring, and you have the inverted. Let me go over here. The inverted nut that actually sits into the acrylic, and then you screw it into place. And I'm going to do 3 of those. This is going to get mounted on 3 points of the bed for our leveling system. You just have to get the others set up. And there, one here and one here. Spring, inverted bolt, or not. Yeah, 9 hours. Like I don't mind. I've done longer drives. I did a 23-hour, or sorry, 28-hour drive to Casper, Wyoming, from Michigan. That was a long drive, and we did it in one shot. Just pull in for gas, picked up food. I think the longest stop we took was 20 minutes on the way, and that was it. So point 1. Point 2 mounting, and point 3 will be over here. we have the spring, we have the base, and we have this is just easier to do it over here on my lap than anywhere else. Once I get a bit of a bite and there's some tension in the spring, and that bolt underneath is going nowhere. So here's our three legs. This we have 3 legs. 1, 2, 3, and then we'll put T-nuts in here and we'll mount it to the frame. So that gives it, now with these in here, this gives it our bed adjustments for leveling. I'm leaving soon, going to my daughter's house to watch the football game. It started to rain here too, which is a good thing. We could always do with more rain. So have a good afternoon with your daughter and your family. And thank you for dropping in, Sergio. You're always welcome. You know that. We appreciate. I really appreciate that you come to the hangouts. You come to my live streams and so on weekends. You give me you give some time here, and that goes to everybody as well. But thank you. Have a good day, Sergio. Take care, my friend. So let's get these mounted on here and ready to be mounted, and then we will do the wiring of the bed. So we're going to have to get some switch over here again. What we're going to do is use these nuts and a T-nut and put them through each of these. That's going to mount it on the bed into the frame. So let me get this on and started. Like so. We do that 3 times. Again, I'm going to put it over close to me because it's easier for me. Two done, and number 3. And then before we put the bed on, we have to wire it. We have to wire up the bed to the board. Put it in backwards. Go good. Way around really makes a difference. All right. So I want to do 2 things now before I keep going. I want to tidy up these wires a bit. I'm going to pull them all out here because later on I can get at it later on, or take the bed off later on if I need to tidy some stuff up. But I want to get this all out of the way because I'm going to be running. I don't want them touching the heated bed. You know what? I'm going to unplug that one. Route the cable underneath the board. Put it back in here. We'll tidy that up later. This is all just testing. I'm going to route that out of my way so nothing gets in the way of the board. Now, 2 things we need to do. Main board needs to be wired up, so which goes in here. Or the hotbed needs to go in here, right? And then which is polaric. There's a positive and negative. Positive is on this side, and negative is on the outside here. So the opposite to this was positive here and negative here. This is the other way around. Positive here and negative there. And then it says H bed on the inside. And then we also need to do the thermistor. So I'm going to do the thermistor first because it's a longer wire, and it gives me a bit more play to get stuff lined up. So let me go to my diagram. Hotbed thermistor goes to the white plug in the front. I'll show you. The hotbed thermistor goes in right here. That was the thermistor for the hot end. This is the hotbed thermistor. And there's a lot of cable hanging off that, which is kind of a bit too long, but I will stick it out to the side out of the way, and then later on I'll tidy up underneath. Be careful with thermistor cables, they are so fragile. And then underneath, I'm going to have to move the camera, guys. Sorry. And I'm going to have to wire these in. So there's the extra wire in the end of these cables. I'm going to trim them off because I don't want, that's just messy. You don't need that hanging out at the end of your cables. And again, this is polarized, so there's a positive and negative. So the positive is on the inside and the negative is on the outside. So we need to flip the cable this way. Where's my small screwdriver? Loosen these up. We're going to flip the positive onto positive is on this side. Look at what I'm doing, it'll be easier. There we go. Positive is going over. In our negative. Hold that in while I tighten it down. You know, this would be so much easier if the board was upside down, mounted the other way around. Because then you could actually run all the wires out, flip it over, and then connect everything up underneath. So these are tight. Power supply is going nowhere. All right, now, next we're going to mount this up. We'll get these cables over to the side out of the way. Turn out these legs. And we'll get them in here. So I'll show you what I'm doing. These legs are going to be turned out and slotted into these into the V grooves, like so. And doing all three of them. And then we just need to bolt them into place. Make sure it's fairly centered. You get above it. I think you turn it a little bit, maybe. I think this is protruding. I need to go the other way with this. 1 second. This is, I want to go further up this way. Okay, I think we're okay there, but we can check it in a while. We can always move it around as it's not hard. Lock that in. Lock each of those down in place. Actually, you know what? I want to turn this one a little bit. You just make sure that there's room underneath for each of these, that the adjusting legs doesn't get snagged. Now this one is getting snagged, so I'll have to move this one. So the height adjusting legs may need to, I have to think about this one now. That one's okay. I need to make sure that I can tighten these down and the height adjustment legs are not in the way of anything. Let me think about this. That one's not bad. This one's okay. This one is in the way, so I need to move this one, I think. I'll just loosen these and have to adjust these. That'll probably work out better. Okay, so I'm going to screw these down to make sure they're tighter now. This one. Hey Vincent, how are you? How are you doing today? How are things in the Netherlands today? Some of you know Vincent from my Hangouts if you've been on the Hangouts. I really do need to get myself one of these small handheld power drivers. Because this is a lot of work. Weather is good. I'm working on dinner. Okay, yeah, it's late. It's evening time. Your time now. I'm gonna get these tightened down now. We have some tension on them. And let's hope there's no magic blue smoke when we get to putting the power supply on there. Since we're only just doing this. There you go. You can see what I'm doing. Stick the camera on the print bed. These well clamped down. A bit of tension on them so you hold the bed steady. This has ABL built in. Oh, I never wired in the ABL. Ah, I knew I forgot something. This is our outer bed leveling system. And I never wired in the ABL, so I'm going to have to take the bed off again. Maybe. Actually, I think I do. Oh well. I knew there was something that was going too perfect. Totally forgot about this ABL. The way the ABL works is this goes over your nozzle. It sits around the nozzle, so you do cold. And basically, when it comes down, it makes a contact on the bed. That squishes two little contacts inside here. Push them together, and that creates a circuit. So, and I never put the ABL. So where does the ABL go? ABL goes. Ooh, I might be. I won't be able to reach it. I have to take the bed off. Sorry, guys. I have to take the bed off again. I'll leave the springs as is. I'll just take off these T-nuts. It's faster. I have to wire in the ABL. So I need to run this cable into right above the Z limit switch, the green connector right above the Z limit switch. Pop this, did I loosen that one? Maybe not enough? Oh, I didn't. I'm going to pop this up, and it goes into right above. I'll show you on the diagram, it's easy. It'll be easier to do that. Into, and I'm going to pass the cable out underneath. We can get access to everything here, nice and tidy. Okay, let's try this again. This one, yeah. That's why I loosened the wrong one. So I'm just going to clamp this back down to the bed, and then we have our ABL cable in. So the ABL cable, I'll show you on the camera. Let me show you the close-up camera here. Your ABL plugs into this green connector right here. So this is your Z limit. It goes right into that green connection right above it. It's nice. It's easy. The diagram, the wiring diagram is not bad. Seen worse. Down. Clamp that down. And one over here. Use my arm being in your way. I'm just tightening, putting the belt back on in place. Locked in. Right. Done. We have cables to tidy up. So we have to do power supply. Now, as I said, I'm going to use the 2-pin cable just for today. The connectors on the 2-pin are furls, which will not work because you need a horseshoe type to go into the main board, onto the power supply. So I'm going to cut these off, and I'm going to re-bare the wires. It should be and I'm going to have to change it. I don't have any horseshoe connections, but so I'll have to do that. I'll have to buy some. So I'm just trimming off the wire and burying it because I'm going to wrap it around instead. Wrapping bare wire is safer than tinned wire. Way better. And then eventually, though, I will replace these with horseshoe, and I will actually put a 3-pin plug on it, not a 2-pin. I don't like the idea of using electronics with a 2-pin. So brown is live, blue is neutral. Bring this cable back a little bit. On the power supply, we have live, neutral, and ground. I don't know if you can see that there, it's reflecting a lot of light. There you go. So we have live on the inside, neutral, and then ground. So and I'm going to flip that up, and I'm going to wire it in. So I'm going to lift those two. I'm going to loosen these bolts and wire it in. So let me bring it over here actually for you, so you can watch. Let me get a screwdriver. 1 second. I want that one. No, I want to hit it. Okay. So the live and neutral. Loosen each of these. I'm going to loosen to the point that I'm taking them out. So I want to wrap the wire around it. And the live is a brown wire. We have a brown and a blue. I will be replacing it, but for now, with the brown is the live. I do not have horseshoe connections. Wire them around the wire. I'm going to do the other way. The reason why I'm doing the other way around is when you tighten the screw, you want it to tighten and pull this with it, not go the opposite direction and probably loosen it up. That's actually too short. 1 second. This feeding is getting in the way, so I'm going to cut it back a little bit. There's not enough play in there. Hey Dwayne, how are you? Stretch out a little bit of. Give myself a little bit of more playroom. These wires. I'm just getting the wires all twisted up. So live. Twist it around. Where did I put the bolt? There it is. Get it into place, screw it down. I will be replacing this, as I said, and I'm going to say it multiple times, with a proper 3-pin, no 2-pin. 2-pin is unsafe. This has we have live and neutral. Again, I take it out because I want to bend the cable around it. And drop it into place. Get a good clamp on that. So that's our power supply wired up. The next thing we need to do is 2 cables coming off the bed. Again, these got furls on it. We don't want furls, so these need to be horseshoe connections. So I'm going to split these, cut them off, rebar them, and we're going to put them in. So we have a V minus and a V plus. So the positive of the red wire will go into one of the V plus. The black wire will go into one of the V minus. There, I put the same amount of wire again. If I had the horseshoe, I'd be using the horseshoe connections, but I don't have them. I have plenty of. I have a furl kit. I don't have horseshoe connections. I need to buy some. Move that back here so you can see it and tilt it on. Sorry. Let me get the camera correct for you. So, again, same as we did last time. V minus, negative. I'm going to take the two close to each other. This is going to be, I'll do the, no actually. Right by the ground, that's V minus. And negative is black, red is live. We want it so it bends in the direction we're tightening. Otherwise, it's really hard to hold it in place, and it will actually it will loosen up as you tighten. Our V minus. Nice and tight. And then the V plus is these 3. So we're going to put them in here. Hey Dum Dum, how are you, man? Hope you're having a good day. We're nearing the end of this build. Fingers crossed, arms crossed, you name it, cross everything, and hopefully we get there. So we're nearing the end. We're just getting this. I don't have proper horseshoe connection, so I'm wiring this up this way. Not my favorite way of doing it, but I don't have the proper connections mounted on the power supply. So I'm going to do this, but I'm not going to run a print. I'm sorry. I'll test everything. We'll make sure it moves, and we'll get it work. We'll get it functioning, but I'm not going to run a print on it until I get a proper 3-wire cable for the power supply. Because I don't like this 2-wire stuff. It's not safe. That's going nowhere. That's going nowhere. Guys, we're almost there. Okay. Dropping bolts here. According to our instructions, all good. Everything's done. Everything's wired up. Everything's plugged in. Now it's a matter of cross your legs, your fingers, your everything, and hope for the best. So I'm going to do a bit of tidy up here. on the cable. Some of the cables a lot of the cables need to be tidied up yet, but I'm going to tidy up some of the bolts, the spares that come with it, get them out of my way. This has got more spare parts. Sorry, need a drink. Got a power supply. I'm going to run a power supply. Oh, check the voltage on the power supply. So it's at 110. There's 110 volt. So no one calls me a liar. Got 110 in there somewhere. It's a bit awkward to get to, so it does say 110. And I'm going to run the power supply down the side here. Once I scoot all of this out of the way, run the cable around the back, over to my plug I have, because it's not my normal table, so I have a plug around the back over here I need to run it to. I run it essentially just for this. Plugged in. Oh, the screen just came on. It was already powered on. I forgot there's no on-off switch. So, ta-da! We have a working screen. And the power supply is running. We got no smoke. Yes! We are powered on. Don't wish that on me, Vincent. We are up. The printer is powered on. It's working. I don't know how well it works, but it's functioning. I have a lot of tidying up to do with these cables and stuff later on. And I will get to that. I will tidy all this up later. I just move stuff around to see if it will work. And we will test some stuff, because this is a new menu system for me. I haven't used this menu system. This is, let's see what options we have here. Why is not moving? That's working. Can we control? Oh, there's no menu here. There's no control on the screen. That's interesting. Just with design, maybe. Even long hole. Let me try putting the SD card and see if it reads it. The SD card goes into the side of the screen. Card inserted. Apparently there is no way to control it from here. That's interesting. I wonder, do I have a cable wrong? Doesn't appear to be, because everything's powered up. It's reading the thermistor. This 21 is room temperature. XYZ is not in there because it's nothing's home yet. Maybe we have no way of doing it without a computer set up. I would need to figure that out. Let me make sure I had the screen plugged in the right way around. I do. 1-to-1. Doesn't seem to be a way of controlling it from here. Or the button is bad. I just pressed the reset switch. Okay, so we know our thermistors are good, but we don't have any control of it from here. Interesting. And I don't have a computer over here that I can link it up to, or do I? I think I may have to install software that I missed in the instructions to get this working. So I'll show you, while we're here anyway, I'll show you how the filament runout, or not the filament runout, the foaming works. With this cable, get it out from underneath my camera cable. Basically, let me go to full screen. It's easier. This little dongle, this little piece of board, clips on over a hot end nozzle. Not this. No, they only give me one screen. I don't have a screen anything like this. That goes over the hot end nozzle like that. Can you show you? These are all Toys for Tots toys piled up over there. So ignore the mess. And then from here, you it comes down and it does its ABL. But there's no response from the screen. Interesting. Let me check something. Where am I? I need to bring over my keyboard. See if they have other instructions. See if any of them say anything about their Bear with me one moment, guys, while I go navigate and find this link that they sent to me with the instructions. To see if I can find anything in there. No picture when I held up the camera. Oh, I'll come back to that again, Jerry, so I'm sorry. Give me a moment, I'll come back to that. I just want to find this instructions first to see if there's anything in there that says about trying to find out the message from them. They sent me a Google Docs link. I have to download this first. Can I copy from here? No, I can't. Sorry, just let me download the doc. Sorry. There's a PDF they sent me. And in the PDF, they have a whole pile of instructions, manual calibration, using the Delta printer. Let me see what their instructions say. So I have to use, I have to use Repetier host to control the printer. So you can't do it from the screen. Blue Snowball, love it. Love it. Best purchase I've ever made. A lot of people have. There's various versions of it. You can set it up the Blue Snowball to be just me in front. I can set up for two people to have a conversation. There's a switch in the back. Or option 3 is picks up all ambient sound in the room. So it's I really like it. I use it all the time. There is a distance limitation in it, so you need to be fairly close. Like right now, it's an arm's length away from me, and that works fine. A bit beyond that would be okay, but I would say anything more than 4 or 5 feet away, you're probably going to run into clipping of your sound. It will not work as well, but it works fine if you're working on a desk or anything like that. I use it even for work calls all the time. Yeah, so Dwayne, it's a good. I love this Blue Snowball. I have the silver version of the Snowball, but there are various others, and there's even newer versions out there. So to get this working, I need to install Repetier host, apparently. So let me see if I can quickly get that. Copy. Let me go find the download for Repetier host. Wasn't expecting to do that, and I'll need to. I've never used Repetier host before. I've never ever used it. I always use alternatives. But apparently, to talk to this, you need it because it's a board type. We're downloading. Almost done. There we go. Our weather's changing here in Michigan. Just so you know, by the way, in case the internet goes a bit wonky, we have had some questionable internet here ever since our storm a week and a half ago or 2 weeks ago. So let's see how this goes. I accept the agreement. Yes. Let's leave it as default. I'm going to do a desktop shortcut. Yes. I haven't used Replicator Host in ever, so let me get a USB cable for this. So the USB cable they gave is really. So I will not be using that. I need longer to go to my computer. I'm going to have to steal one off my laser. Do I have one? Now, whenever you want a long USB cable, they're never around. And when you don't want a long USB cable, they're away. That's longer. This might work. It's a different printer, but it should work. I need to run this from the computer. And 1 second, guys, I'm going to be passing over and back here. But I run this from the computer. Up underneath this, so I have to get in. Here. Tilt this over, so hopefully I don't drop it on the floor. One thing I will say about the kit, I do not like these exposed wires. On your power supply, got exposed wires right here. I do not like this. This is a really terrible idea. I'll have to either find, if there's not already a mod out there, I have to find a case for this, and I'm probably going to end up mounting it up here on the railing somewhere. I don't like that setup. So I'll go to Replicator install. It's just installing. I have to install a Replicator host. I just want to get the axes moving. I want to show that it functions, that the axes move, that everything's operational, and then I'll be happy, because I'm not going to run a print. Is this here free trial period? Where is the shortcut link? Okay, let's open up Replicator host. This is new to me, so I've never used it before. On which side? The ones over here or the ones over here? There's one over here on the floor running. That's my Ender 5 Plus. That's printing toys. The one here behind me is the Wido X40 that's printing a train. The one that's up here is the Henlog D3 Pro, the original version, not the updated version that Jerry has. That's actually printing a train as well. So let's see. Yeah, oh, the Ender 5 Plus is big. I got it bigger, but yeah, it is big. It's a lovely machine. I love it. It's a rock star of a computer, of a printer. Why is this not moving? Let's minimize this out of my way. I have to go through this privacy policy. To approve this, I have to accept their privacy policy. Oh, it's all web interface. Oh, interesting. Okay, add a new printer. K280. Printer is Marlin. I think it's rep here actually. It's Replicator firmware. Serial connection. What COM port do I have open? Probably COM port 5. Baud rate auto detect. No password. Test several combinations. Select best. Okay. Continue. Connected. Fetching firmware data. Did not return expected response. Normally means that the wrong firmware was selected, so it's not. Maybe it is Marlin. Let me change the firmware type to Marlin. Repeat. So this actually tests what firmware you have. Fetching firmware data. It did not return, so it's not Marlin either. So let's see. It's not Marlin. It's not Repro firmware. Maybe it's RepRap. Repeat the test. Sorry, I'm trying to get the software to talk. The firmware did not return expected response. So I'm getting an error that it's saying that it's not returning an expected response in the Repetier host, which is a web interface. So I need to figure out which firmware it is. Let me see what they say in their instructions, actually, because I had their instructions. And I should use that. Where am I? There are no. How to set up the printer. Well, this is telling me to use the app, but the app is hanging. Oh, finish. Okay. Go in here. I'm just going to read their instructions, guys. So 1 second. I'm going to figure out what they want me to do here. And I'm going to cover your chat window for a second because I need their screen real estate. And it's not responding. Finish. Repetier seems to be hanging. There's a verse of it hanging. Let me go to my task manager and kill it off. 1 second. Doesn't seem to like my system. Yeah, Repetier is hanging, and I'm trying to close it, and it won't close. Uh, 1 second. I have to go to my task manager, and I have to kill it, and then relaunch it again. Now we'll try it again. Sorry, I just can't see your chat right now, guys, because I need the real estate to set this up. I haven't done this before. So I haven't used Repetier ever. So I'm going to connect. And it's set up the dimensions. It's baud rate. Okay, that's all right. Printer. Fixed rate. Z. Printer settings. 1 second, I've set up the printer settings. These are hard. I'm far away from my screen, so. And I'm old. X280. Actually, I have to set it as a. Add crop, disable extruder. There doesn't seem to be an option here for a delta. .280 D600. I don't see an option here to set as a delta machine. It says it's a 570. Okay, so 570 for the delta for the Z. I don't see an option in here on Repetier to say it's a delta. Check extruder, ETA, grid. Yeah, there's no option here for delta. Kind of weird because it's not showing up as a round. I can't set it as a round printer, round print bed. I'll apply this for now. I just want to make sure everything works. So we're going to see if we can figure out how to get the axes moving. So it's connected again. Configuration. Sorry guys, I'm trying to figure out Repetier host. I haven't used it. I've never needed to. So I'm trying to figure out why I don't see the option in here in my printer settings to set it as a delta. Now there's no delta option in there that I can find. Classic. Oh, there it is it? No. Yeah, I'll have to look it up because everything it's telling me here is giving me XYZ coordinates, but it's not giving me the option to say it's a delta. Okay, I'll have to come back to it, guys. But the printer is operating. I'm talking to it. Let's see if I can figure out how to move axes. Printer. Manual control of the printer. I don't even have that. Let me see what it says here. Sorry, it's off the screen. Let me come over here. Okay, it says poor COM1 does not exist. Yeah, but I'm not using COM1. So let me go here to connections again. Say yes. Yeah, it's not communicating to the printer, to the board. What's in COM1? Let me change that to COM5, I believe. Connect again. Okay, it's not COM5. I'm trying to figure out what port it's using. Printer settings. On port 4, apply. No, it's not talking to the board. COM3. Connect. Continue. No. Doesn't want to talk to the board. You don't know why. So there could be a connection issue there. Printer settings, and try one more thing. Auto detect, see if that helps. Try. Connect. Let me try a different COM port, but it's not the print. I know it's not the COM port. Maybe it's the cable. I don't know. I don't even hear my computer beep that it's detected the new device. Yeah, it's not detecting it, so maybe it's the cable. And the cable that comes with it is too short that it won't even come off the table. It's not even the size of the printer. But it's working. I just need to get it to talk to the board. Maybe there's no firmware. It looks like there is firmware on the board though. But I just need to take the USB cable. But it's built. We're done with the build. I will tweak offline. I'll play around with this, getting this communication working. I need to learn Repetier because I've never used Repetier host really in the past. I've never needed to. But I think that's it. Does anybody have any questions for today? I need to learn. The Repetier, it looks easy enough. It's just I'm doing it when the screen's all the way over there. And it's kind of awkward to see. And I need to get, once I get communications up and running, I can test the motion of the printer. How long have we been running for today? It's been what, an hour and a half. So yeah, I need to get a better USB cable. I'm guessing that's the issue. To get it to talk to the Repetier host, because it's not even showing up as being detected in my computer. It is plugged in. The board is running. There's no blue smoke. So the printer itself is built. Just a comms issue to the printer. And then, thank you, Jerry. And so it's a good. So far, everything's done. I just need to tidy up these cables, which I will have to do offline. I just have to sort stuff out, zip tie them up, and then get this mounted on the outside so it's tidy out of the way, so the print head can move up and down freely. And I do want to get the power supply mounted on the inside, or mounted, maybe attached here on one of these rails. Turn it, put a box over the bottom of it, and mount it here, and maybe even add in a switch. If I do a box, I'll put a switch on it so I can power it on and off, a fuse switch. Because right now it's going straight to the mains, which is okay. How much wiggle? There's no room underneath. Well, as is, there's a little flex. Just not an awful lot, I would say, Shane. But like, when you must remember, when this thing is moving, it's being pulled up and down, not horizontally in any way, so it may not even move. But I did do some research. I did do some searching. There are people who have designed mods to strengthen this, and what you'd have to do is run them either the whole length on the outside or just brace it from here to here, where when these are not in the way, to bring this all the way down to the print bed. You could brace from here to here without interfering with these, and that would add rigidity if you wanted to. But the cooling fan is working. Power cooling fan, I do not know because I can't run a print. I'm having a comms issue with this. Let's see, try that again. I'm going to try it again. I tried the auto detect. I'll try. I'm thinking it's a bad cable, which are common with those USB cables. Oh, I have another one around there. Wrong type. That laser. Power. Oh, I have one here. Yes, let me try this cable instead. The longer cable. Let me try the one from one of my lasers. I'll be with you in a second, guys. I'm off screen trying to get the USB set up. Yes. You're seeing my back. I'm sorry. That cable is probably bad. I do not like showing my back to you, but it's the only way I can get into this. I know you can diss me later. Again, I didn't hear my computer pop up a Bing. I'll try auto detect, apply. If I connect again. What does it say here? Unhandled exception. Okay, I think there's an app exception. Let me do continue, and I'm going to close down Repetier host and restart it again. Because it's giving me an exception. Maybe that's the issue all along. Settings. Printer, auto detect. That's fine. Connect. Oh, no, the Repetier host is giving me an exception on when I try connect. It's saying unhandled exception has occurred with your application. If you click continue, the application will ignore and attempt to continue. If you quit, the application will close immediately. And the details of the exception are baud rate. The maximum baud rate for the device is 1.5. Oh, was that it? Is that all it is? Just the baud rate that was given me. Let's slow it down and see. Bye, okay. Connect. It's hanging again. Let me do again Repetier host. Hanging. Task manager, and I go kill it off, and I'll go back in again. Yeah, I agree. Doesn't I know what's wrong? Maybe he can, Jerry. You should give him a call. So 1500 auto detect transfer rate, auto detect port. Let's see if that connects. No, when I hit connect, it's just hanging there. I'm wondering if the USB port is bad on the board. It's saying here, using the fast, impossible. I'm just reading what Rep app is saying, and the Repetier host is saying, and the app is hanging. Try one more thing. I'm going to kill the app again. Task manager. I'm just trying to get Repetier working. Print settings, and I'm going to try manually setting the port. Click on port 5. Apply. Okay. Connect. No. Okay, access to the port is denied. So I'm going to go in and manually change the port again to COM4. I'm going to try the one, the auto detect doesn't seem to be working. I'm going to try manual. No, the app keeps hanging. It keeps hanging up. Okay, they came back to me. Maybe we'll try one more. Come forward. COM3. Bye, okay. It's not connecting. So it's either the bad cable, it can't be two bad cables in a row possible, but I've used those cables in the lasers. But it's not communicating, it's not linking to the board at all, and I can't control it from the screen. There's no way to go into the screen here that I can see. It looks as the screen is going through a reset every now and again. There it goes again. Yeah, so I don't know. Let me turn this off. There's a communication issue. I'm guessing it's either a USB port, maybe, and I'll troubleshoot that. Interesting. Power supply is unplugged, but the screen is still going. Got latent power stored in the screen. I'll show you here what I mean. The power is off. I actually unplugged the power supply. Let me make sure. Yeah, power supply is unplugged. Oh, it's getting it over USB. I forgot the USB. So offline, I'm going to troubleshoot that because it'll take us too long here. But we have the printer built. There's no smoke. That's always a good sign. Yeah. No USB power, maybe. I can always cover that pin. So sometimes the USB power does do that, like because it's providing a 5-volt voltage to the board. But the printer's built. We're done with the build. There's no more assembly to be done. I just need to troubleshoot why it's not communicating. And the one thing I do want to do, yeah, it might not reset properly. One thing I want to do is I do want to replace the 2-pin plug it comes with a 3-pin. Do not like it doing it because running with power without a ground is bad juju, right? And I'll have to look see if there's a mod already. If not, I'll have to make up one because I'd like to get the power supply. Ideally, put a box over these wires because they're exposed. Do not like that. And then mount it and maybe mount it like so. Actually, I can't do it there. I'd have to do it back. Maybe mount it here under the bed at the side and have a switch, have a box over this and have it mounted along the bottom. Like, let me show you what I was thinking about. Cable reach. I was thinking to mount the power supply like so, maybe like so on the case. So we'll figure it out. I'll troubleshoot it. We'll figure it out, and maybe I'll get it. I might even, if I get it working, I might even give it a try today and see if I can get something printing on it. My guess is though, I'll have to calibrate my XYZ axes because there's a bit of math involved in calibrating these so they move properly. So I'm going to look. I'm pretty sure I'll have to do it. I'll have to get it to move and measure how far it's moved and just calibrate to make sure the axes are moving cleanly. But all in all, we're done with our build. Oh, one other thing I want to replace. What I want to do is I want to move this scooter further down. The reason why is when I'm all out of the bed, there's a big bend in this cable, in this wooden tube. And I'm going to move it down so there's less. I can do it now. I'm talking about it. I might as well get it done. I'll put my wrenches. I don't like that bend in that wooden tube. It'll cause too much resistance in the filament moving. Yeah, so I'll do some digging, figure out what's going on. But all in all, the build was easy. The instructions were okay, and they do have online instruction videos. I saw them. I didn't really use them, but they do. I know enough to build it out off this. Someone who does not know enough can use this, or they can always use my video because I think I showed some areas that are a lot more clearly than they did in theirs. And theirs is a whole sequence. They do a video. They don't number it per bag. They do part 1, 2, 3, but it's pretty much to tell you which bag to use for that section, which I did as well. So I think maybe my build video is a little bit better than their build video. That's my opinion. In my opinion, $5 will get you bad coffee at Starbucks. But at least it's an alternative build view. And all in all, it's about a 6-hour build. 6-hour build. if you sat down one day to build it all, and you weren't interacting with someone on chat like I have been doing and so on, it's a 6-hour build, and it's a behemoth of a Delta. And if I can get it working later on, I'll get it to print, and I'll post some of the some short videos of it printing. Anyone have any questions or comments or queries or anything along those lines that you'd like to ask before we wrap up today? I think it went really well. We got the whole machine built. I just need to learn and figure out why Repetier is not talking to the board. But once I have that done, we can manage it from Repetier. Now, I do not like having to expect to have a computer to upload jobs to the printer. I do not like that. I will, at some point, replace the board in this to be or at least add a Pi to it and to make it, probably clipperize it. And then at that point, then I have remote access to it to upload jobs whenever I want. I also want to put some feet on it because it is very top heavy, and well, not really, but it's very tall. I'd rather put some legs, maybe design some legs that are splayed, and that way then it actually gives it a little bit more stability, I would guess. So, where can everyone find me? Well, you find me here on YouTube, Jerry. Thank you. You'll also find me on Twitch, which is twitch.tv/AstroPrinter. You will also find me on, I'm doing Toys for Tots, and we're live streaming our Toys for Tots prints. So if you go over to twitch.tv/charity makers, that's CHARITY, charity makers, we're actually live streaming some 3D printing for Toys for Tots. I've done about 1,000 toys so far, or 1,200 toys so far. I plan to do a lot more. So there'll be other people will be joining me on stream. There are already 1 or 2 to join me, but there'll be a lot more once everybody else gets ramped up on their toys printing. So check out Charity Makers on Twitch, check out AstroPrinter on Twitch, and obviously you have me here. And it was fun. Now I will not be around next weekend. I will not be online next weekend because next Friday and Saturday I have a huge astronomy event that it's 2 days, and it eats up all my time. I get out there around noon each day, and I'm there until midnight. Yeah, there you go, Jerry. Thank you. And so it's a really long day. So it's all day Friday, all day Saturday, and all I'll do is sleep on Sunday because it's a grueling event. So it's hard on us astronomers who are out there. So it's a big event. Now I probably will jump into Jerry's stream if I get a good enough signal. I'll try on my cell phone. And we'll live stream a little bit from the setup that we have out there for this big astronomy event, and I'll give a bit of a walk around. At about 5 or 6 in the afternoon, there'll be astronomers set up with their equipment. So we'll do a walk around with the telescope. So some of the telescopes that are there, some of the astronomers set up, and even show you the presentation tent and the club set up for the club tent as well on Saturday. So I will do that on Saturday in Jerry's Hangout. So check out Jerry's Hangout on Twitch. So it's 3DHP on Twitch, and I'll jump in at some point if the signal is good enough, and I'll live stream there, and I'll show you a little bit of our astronomy setup Saturday, which is the day 2 of our event. I think that's all from me, guys. We're finally done with this machine. Yay! Cheers! You're all buying the drinks. I'm not buying them. You're buying the drinks. It has to be tea or coffee for me. I'm a teetotal. But yeah, we're done. We just need to get a communication working, and then we can get a print job going. Hopefully, all will go well. Yeah. So, any last comments, queries, questions before we wrap this up, and I'll give you back the rest of your Sunday. Need a drink. Coffee. Liquid breakfast. If there's no last comments, I can give you back the rest of the day. Thank you. See, Jerry, I told you at the beginning, Jerry was fantastic to have on stream, and he's actually promoting all my Twitch channel, and his own group and so on, which is great, and all that. And guys, if you want to post any links, you should be able to post your links up there. I have no problem with people posting their links. If you have issues posting a link, Jerry is a mod, he can approve them. But I have no problem with everybody promoting ourselves. We are a maker community. We do stuff as a community. We help each other out. We don't argue with each other about silly little things. That was a Twitch channel you just posted, Jerry. Was it my Facebook? Well, you can post yours too, Jerry. Please do. I only saw part of the URL. That's why. But yeah, so I have a group called 3D Help. That's with Jerry also linked there. But yeah, we're all about promoting ourselves, working together, sharing what we do, which is why I live stream these builds, because it's good to share what we do with others. And I hope it was interesting. And if we can get it printing this afternoon, I'll do a short video, and I'll post that short video as well here and on Facebook of the machine operating, printing, hopefully. And we're done. That's a wrap, folks. I'll probably get a copyright strike for saying that word, that term now. Anything else? Anyone any last comments? If not, I think we can wrap up. I will just go over here, and I'll go in. I'll click on the end stream any moment. If there's no last comments, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, nothing. Okay, guys, thank you. It's been fun. Have a good weekend. What's left of it. Enjoy your any breaks that you have or holidays you have coming up. And I will see you Tuesday night on my hangout at 7 p.m. Eastern. And I'm going to show that one, Shane. I like that one. And so I will be on Tuesday night, 7 p.m. on my Twitch channel, which is AstroPrinter on Twitch. And I'll be doing my hangout. So if you're coming on to my hangout, everybody is welcome. You come on stream if you want to and chat with us. But if not, you can reach out to us during chat on the hangout. You're all welcome, and I will see you on Tuesday night. And if not, I may see you on Jerry's stream next Saturday during but I'll be live streaming from the astronomy event, and I'll show you what is the setup during the day. All right, guys, thank you, and have a great day. Take care.